Today I'm going to show you 3 steps to getting extremely lucky in life. Hey everybody, and welcome to Optimal Achiever. My name is Mike, and today we're going to talk about luck. How is it possible for you to get luckier in life? Have you ever witnessed somebody that seems to just get luckier than others? They just seem to have more opportunities than most people. So you're probably thinking like, man, they're just lucky people. Or maybe you've thought like they had a lucky break. But my honest belief is that it had nothing to do with luck. It had all to do with preparation and becoming a person who attracts opportunities. And not only that, but is able to capitalize on them when they present themselves. So today I want to talk about the 3 steps to getting extremely lucky in life. Okay, number 1 is that you want to prime your mind to unconsciously seek out opportunities. So you want your brain to be able to look for opportunities and bring it to your conscious awareness. This cannot be a conscious task. This just has to be something that your brain is doing automatically. And the way that you do that is by activating the reticular activating system. And now what the reticular activating system is, you've actually witnessed it before whenever you buy a new car. And when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you start seeing that same car all over the road. And it's not that it didn't exist before, it's just that now your brain is in tune to that car because you own it now. So that is the reticular activating system at work. So how do you do this for opportunities? How do you tune in to opportunities that exist out there? So the way that you do this is through repetition. You do it through repetition of self-talk and repetition of visualization. So when I say self-talk, I don't necessarily mean, reciting affirmations in front of a mirror. Like you could do that if you want, but I just mean more of the inner dialogue that's happening in your mind all the time. Just keep that inner dialogue positive, right? The moment that you believe that opportunities don't exist or that you believe that things are hard, that's exactly the outcomes that you're going to get. And the reason why is because you're activating the reticular activating system to not seek out opportunities because you don't believe that they exist, because you believe that they're hard to come by. So the reticular activating system is not even going to waste its time, right? Your brain is trying to be efficient to seek out what's important to you. So when you have this inner dialogue, you want to keep it positive. You always want to keep it open to opportunities. If something doesn't work out for you, pick yourself back up and say, don't give up, stay committed because the opportunity is just around the corner. Keep your inner dialogue open, and your brain, your reticular activating system is going to continuously seek out because it still believes that possibility and that opportunity still exists out there. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to continuously visualize. And this is just for you to cultivate the right emotions and also for your brain to have a reference of what to look for, right? So when you visualize, just go back to like your childlike days and really, really use and engage with your imagination and start to visualize the outcomes that you want in your life. The more that you visualize these outcomes, again, you're providing this reference for your mind to look for, right? If you're constantly thinking of the outcomes that you want, you're going to see in that visualization the emotions that you have, the feeling that you're going to have when you reach that outcome. And when you continuously visualize about that, it's going to cultivate that emotion right now. And that is how you attract the opportunities. That is how you attract people. That is how you attract the things that you want in life, is by operating from the right emotional state. So you want to activate your reticular activating system, and you want to also be able to operate from the right emotional frequency. When you operate from the right emotional frequency, you have clarity, you have more energy, you're more effective, right? You're more productive, because when you're worrying or overwhelmed or frustrated, you know what that's like. Your brain shuts down. But the opposite happens when you're in the right emotional state. So the way I get myself into the right emotional state is that I like to think of these 4 things. I like to think that we are co-creating instead of competing. When you put yourself in a state of competition, it seems like you have to work even harder so that you can outdo, your competition, so that you can outdo somebody else. But when you come from this place of co-creating, it's more like you're working together, and it's just much easier to operate from that place. So the second thing that I think about is abundance versus scarcity. I like to think that there is abundance out there, that there's enough to go around for everybody, right? If you come from a place of scarcity, you come from a place that there's not enough. And if it's run out, then there's not enough for me. So why should I even try? So if you come from a place of abundance, you know that it exists out there. So your brain is going to tune into the opportunities to understand that there's still some left for me. There's still some available for me and for everybody, right? When you come from this place of abundance, you get more excited. And again, you're putting yourself in a good emotional state. The third thing that I think about is expectancy. I like to come from a place of expectancy because when you expect for things to happen, you don't get so frustrated about it not happening right now. You don't get so impatient and desperate in life to speed up the process. When you expect, you come from a place of poise. You come from a place of peace, and you understand that it's going to happen. So you're excited and you're happier about it than from a place of desperation and impatience. And when you're impatient, you get frustrated because you start working a lot harder and you start to, try to do whatever you can to make it happen. And then you put too much on your plate and you get overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you are in a bad emotional state, right? And it's just not a good place to create from. And lastly, I like to think of gratitude. When you come from a place of expectancy that you know things are going to happen, then you have to come from a place of gratitude. And, this place of gratitude is being thankful already for what you know is going to come, for the outcome that you're already expecting to happen. This is a powerful place to operate from gratitude, from being so happy and so grateful that this life is just given to you. This is the way that you get into the right emotional frequency. And this is how you start getting in tune into the opportunities and condition your mind to seek out these opportunities at the unconscious level. Okay, number 2, you have to be ready for when the opportunity arrives. So opportunities come all the time. The problem is that sometimes you're not even aware that the opportunity exists because you don't have the skill set to capitalize on that opportunity. And that's what happens to most people in life. An opportunity comes right by their face and they don't even see it because they don't have the skill sets that recognizes that they can actually capitalize on that opportunity. Like if someone today said, I'm here to hire someone, I'm going to pay them $10 million a year if they can do, X, Y, and Z. If you don't have X, Y, and Z, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of that $10 million opportunity. And that's what happens in life. Do you have the skill sets that can earn you $1 million a year, right? Right now, you're probably working a job and you're only worth a certain amount an hour. That is the amount of value that you're bringing to the workforce, is that your value is, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour, whatever it is. That's your value. How do you increase that so that you can be worth $1,000 an hour, $1 million an hour, right? How do you increase that value? By increasing your skill set, by increasing the amount of value that you could bring to people, by increasing the amount of impact that you can have on people, right? So you have to learn the skill sets. You have to learn the skills that come with your opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur, then you have to build yourself. You have to build your character. You have to build your authority. You have to build your expertise. You have to build your ability to market. You have to build your ability to sell, right? You want to just touch up on the core skill sets that you need to be able to capitalize on the opportunity when it arrives. So that's number 2. And number 3 is you have to be consistent with your part. You have to meet luck halfway. Opportunities are going to come. The lucky opportunities are going to present themselves, but you have to meet them halfway. You consistently operate from the right emotional frequency, right? From a place of expectancy. So if you expect it's going to happen, then go ahead and move forward. You don't have to necessarily know the how, but just continuously take action. There's a lot of things that are out of your control. You don't want to focus on that. You don't want to focus on when the opportunity is going to come because you can't control that. Right? So don't put your focus on what you can control. Only focus on what you can control. And what you can control is yourself, your thoughts, and your actions. You can't win the game if you don't play the game. And the more times that you play the game, the more chances you have to win. How is someone ever going to win a championship in life if they never sign up for the tournament? If they never practice, if they never play the game, right? Most people in their life, they just sit on the sidelines. So you want to make sure that you're not one of them and you want to meet your luck halfway. And that is how you get lucky in life. You want to condition your mind to seek out these opportunities at the unconscious level by talking to yourself, by continuously visualizing that outcome that you want, and coming and operating from a place of expectancy, from a place of gratitude, from a place of abundance, from a place of co-creation. And you want to meet your luck halfway there by preparing, by adopting and developing the right skill sets so that you can capitalize on the opportunity when it arrives. And lastly, you want to be consistent with your part. You're not going to win the game unless you play the game. And the more games you play, the more opportunities that you have to win.